I, Michael Elliott Langley,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I'll bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
on which I'm about to enter,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, General.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to GhanaPlusTv, the digital heartbeat of Africans' truths. This is more than just a channel. It is a movement, a space where African stories are told by African voice, raw, rare, and unapologetic. From culture to current affairs, from untold stories to breaking news, we bring you the narrative that matters, the one mainstream media skips, the one that spaces our identity, our power, our future. If you are looking for a truth, pride, and perspective, you are in the right place. Subscribe, like, share, and stay connected. Let's own our story together.
Oh, General Michael Lynn. Oh, you were in Kenya few days ago and you were still keeping your word. You back up a little bit, but you still maintain your word. But pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you out of the generosity of my heart. I was a little bit hard on you the other time because the statement was not too good. Let me go straight to the point. General Michael Lynn, you are talking America. You are talking America with Ibrahim Traore. You are talking America completely. You see, what you don't understand is when America was built, the time that America was being built, this is the same process that everything went. America was built by importation of people into the country and using of indigents and all of that. And at that time, there was no Congress to pass a lot of laws. So a lot of things need to be done fast. The railroad building, constructions and all of that, the underground and everything that was done has to be done instantly. Mistakes were made, all kinds of stuff were made. But you were saying that, okay, you observe that since Captain Ibrahim Traore became the president or the ruler or the leader, that the terrorist attack intensify and all of that. Now, the question I want to ask you, do you truly believe that Ibrahim Traore invited those terrorists to come to Burkina Faso? Is that part of his deal? And then you also observe that Ibrahim Traore is using the Burkina Faso's gold and resources to buy ammunition and all of that. And that to you is like he's equipping himself. Oh my goodness. You are getting all this thing twisted. You know, in America, military are given budget from taxpayers' money. Burkina Faso is an underdeveloped country that is about to build. They don't have a system like America do that other people are paying taxes and all of that. America is already organized. And so when they give you military budget, they are giving it out of the system that is already organized. They have to debate. They have to pass the budget. They have to do all kinds of stuff. And so at the end of the day, they'll say, this is allocated to the military. So you don't know a lot of things that go at the background before all those things. But because America is already developed, it's already built. But what Traore is doing is completely something that you cannot comprehend. This is building from scratch. There is no a congressional sitting for debate to happen, for this to be debated, before that. There is no time for that. There is no time for that. You can see how much time politics and politicians, they have wasted Africa. They are wasting our time. Years after independence, nothing is coming forth. What he's doing right now, he has a clear vision, okay? This is what we want to do. This is what we want to accomplish. Now you're talking about the ammunition and the weapons and all those kind of stuff that he's getting, and you said, why is he getting all this? He's getting this because he's trying to organize a system. You have to organize a system, and organizing a system, disconnecting himself from France because France was not buying into the vision. He has to put things together. So the wealth that he has is what he has to use to buy the equipment that he needs in order to put the country together and to secure the country. Where do you think he's going to get it from? It's like somebody got a job, like you got a job right now. You're going to pay your rent from your job. You're going to buy your car from your job. You're going to buy clothes from your job. You're going to eat from your job. So what they have is what they're going to use. There is no other budget that Burkina Faso has for military. They have to use their resources. They are not borrowing the money. They say they are not borrowing anything. They are not asking you to give anything. They are using what they have to buy, what they need to buy to secure themselves. Just like you pointed out, you said terrorists are coming into the country. Do you think they are just coming into the country for nothing? Because the man is trying to secure their wealth. And when you have a place that you want to secure your wealth, what do? You have to put gates. You have to put doors. You have to put windows. These other guys, they are trying to break through the door, break through the windows, and to come in. So he has to equip himself at least to protect his property, to protect his wealth, to protect what he's building. So the best you could have done is to say, oh, I have observed that these insurgencies and these crises are coming since you became president to attack your dreams. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to attack who attack you. I'm going to beat down whoever beat down you. Instead of that, you are against someone that is building his own country. Your statement suggests that you are against him and you are empowering the terrorist. You are scaring him. It's like, don't even dare to dream. Don't even dare to do anything. And then you came to Kenya, you are repeating the same thing. So you are bringing American mentality into Africa, developing country. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. So you are sincerely wrong. I know you believe from your heart of your heart that he is taking money to build himself. The equipment are not bought in the name of Traore, right? The equipment are not bought in the name of Traore. No ammunition is bought in his name. No jacket is bought his name. No drone is bought in his name. These are the country property. These are the national property. So it has nothing to do with him. It just happened to have the vision and to have the mandate to lead the people. Somebody must lead. Are you getting the point? So instead of you empowering the terrorists and the attack and then coming up with all those things, you should have said, Traore, how are you going about this thing? What can I help? How can I come in to help? Remember, America always make this kind of mistake. The same mistake they made with Gaddafi. When Gaddafi said, this is how we're going to build our country. We're going to use the resources to empower the people. America got confused. They don't understand because in America, it's not done that way. But unfortunately, Africa is different from America. We cannot use your senses to build Africa. We can't use your mindset to build Africa. Are you kidding me? You are talking purely America. In Africa, it doesn't work that way. What you should do is to ask questions. How do you guys do things here? Where are you guys going? How can we come in? How can we support? Now, you could be a general, be a leader in America. But when you go to Africa, listen, you cannot be in the forefront leading anything in Africa, honestly. You got to listen to those who know where they want to go, how they want to get to where they want to go. And then you can play a supportive role. Not you saying, I'm a general in America. You're a general in America. You understand American principle. You understand American law. But you don't know jack about Africa. You don't know what we want to do. You don't know what our general want to do. You don't know what our leaders want to do. Listen, this is the same confusion that a lot of you brings into politics in Africa. And you mess up a lot of people. You mess up all these old folks. You mess up their mind, mess up their conception. They don't understand that you guys are speaking America. You are speaking the West. And this Western language, ideology, thinking cannot develop Africa. Honestly, it can't develop Africa. No matter what you think around all this stuff, it cannot build Africa. So please, generals, just stay off Africa. Just stay off Burkina Faso. Stay off us for now, for a moment, okay? We need a breathing space. We need a breathing space. The equipment, you think that we are not qualified to have the equipment? We're not qualified to have the ammunition? We're not qualified to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves? What are you thinking? Just stop this. This sounds so out of order. And I know you are sincerely, but this sincerity is wrong. You completely out of touch with the reality on ground in Africa. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing and how we want to build Africa, you can ask questions, send message, organize a meeting, and then sit down and just listen. And if it goes down with you and you get confused again, ask more questions. But this idea of going against Ibrahim Traore and other leaders that are in support of this is not going to work. Honestly, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. And I say to you again, back up from that place. I was once a captain, and we don't do things the way you're thinking. If you love Africa, I wanted to share this message. Type I love Africa, and I will support Africa. I will build Africa. I will stand for Africa. Home and abroad. Black, if the black blood run through your blood, anywhere you are, in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, let's join hands together to build our own. It is time to build our own.
You are on African soil, not for the first time, but this would be a good moment to ask about one of the countries that has taken its own autonomy, and that's Burkina Faso. Yeah. Your remarks recently at the Senate seem to suggest that he's diverting, General Traore, is diverting its 4 billion gold reserves to sustain his military rule rather than for public welfare. These remarks sparked widespread condemnation across the continent. What did you mean by that statement?
Let me speak to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. They maintain their sovereignty. They make their decisions how they use their resources. They make their decisions who their resources go to for military support. That's their sovereign right. But my cautionary tale was just from a military perspective. That was a Senate Armed Services Committee asking me a direct question. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going on to progress them forward, okay? But then when you look at the military part of it, knowing that that's the epicenter of global terrorism, it was my time to illuminate that this is probably their weakest point, and there needs to be sufficient resources going towards for the whole fight of terrorism in that country, period. They make their decisions, though. That's their sovereignty, their sovereign right to make their decisions, what is appropriate, what's not. But I wanted to illuminate that is going in the wrong direction now. ISIS is getting stronger. JNIM is getting stronger. Al-Qaeda in the lands of the Maghreb is getting stronger in that country.
And do you think it's getting stronger after General Traore took over?
It has. Just look at the numbers of attacks. It really has, since 2022. I've been tracking this since I took command. So, no ill will towards him, but the decisions is their own. They're looking for other ways to be able to, they're still on warfighting footing. It's just going to take more resources.
So you stand by that statement? Because there's been pressure on you to walk those statements back.
That's my statement. That's my assessment. That is getting worse. More needs to be done for not just local, but whole of country, because of these violent extremist organizations are seeking revenue. They're seeking resources. They're seeking recruiting from the Burkinabe people. And they're seeking refuge within their country. That threatens their sovereignty.
And that threatens America's interest?
Say again?
Does that then threaten America's interests?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Because especially ISIS, and of course in East Africa is inextricably linked all the way to ISIS West Africa, ISIS Sahel, and there's going to be probably a move afoot for them to move and seek refuge within the line. So we have shared objectives, and we offer to work together with the Burkinabe government and border countries. Mali, Niger, coastal West Africa countries collective, because here's what these organizations do. Here's what these terrorist organizations do. They seek refuge in the seams or the borders of these countries and lets them thrive and grow and lets them recruit, gain resources to carry on their illicit and nefarious activities against the populations, people.
And what would America, perhaps AFRICOM, be prepared to do? Would you be considering an ouster like we saw with Muammar Gaddafi in Libya? Because there's still many Africans who are yet to recover from that. If this is a bigger threat, as you say, in Burkina Faso, what is AFRICOM prepared to do about it?
We do indications and warnings. There's a number of activities that we do, and we'll just go ahead and mention building institutional capacity. There's not going to be U.S. boots on the ground. Very, very small for exchange of ideas and training, exercises. Over time, that builds institutional capacity and capability in these armies. There, AFRICOM, we are working towards a burden sharing and a burden shift for their independent operations. That's our goal. We have the shared objectives because these same terrorist groups can threaten our homeland. So we're in concert. I was just an African Lion over in Morocco. A number of countries working together to be able to
Is Burkina Faso invited here today for this conference?
Yes. Yes.
The audacity of empire never ceases to amaze. On May 27th, 2025, General Michael Langley, the commander of the United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, sat down with Kenya's Citizen TV in Nairobi to defend his earlier slander against Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Langley's attempt to walk back his inflammatory remarks, made during a US Senate Armed Services Committee hearing on April 3, 2025, only deepens the wound of Western hypocrisy. His accusations that Traoré misused Burkina Faso's gold reserves to protect his junta, rather than benefit the nation's 23 million citizens, sparked a firestorm of outrage across Africa. Now, after Africans rose in unison to defend their son, Traoré, Langley's feeble attempt to spin his narrative as a military perspective reeks of desperation. This is not just a story about one general's backpedaling, it's a glaring expose of the West's age-old playbook of destabilizing Africa to maintain its chokehold on the continent's resources and sovereignty. But this time, with revolutionary leaders like Traoré at the helm and a united African consciousness awakening, the West is finding its schemes faltering. Let's rewind to April 3rd, 2025. In the hallowed halls of the US Senate, General Langley, the first black four-star general in the US Marine Corps and AFRICOM's 6th commander, stood before the Senate Armed Services Committee. Responding to a question from Senator Roger Wicker about corruption linked to Chinese trade, Langley zeroed in on Burkina Faso's young leader. "Absolutely, Chairman, I see this and I don't mind calling it out," he declared with the arrogance of a colonial overseer. Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso, their gold reserves are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. The words landed like a grenade across Africa. From Ouagadougou to Nairobi, from Lagos to Accra, the African continent erupted in righteous indignation. Social media platforms, X, TikTok, Instagram, became battlegrounds where Africans and the diaspora unleashed their fury. On X, posts decried Langley's remarks as a textbook case of Western interference, with one user framing it as defenders of sovereignty branded as threats, the hypocrisy of General Langley's words on Burkina Faso. Another post thundered, America is after Ibrahim Traoré to eliminate him just like they killed Gaddafi. If America touches Traoré, the AU must consider it a declaration of war against Africa. Protests erupted outside US embassies, with demonstrators in London and Ouagadougou waving placards reading, "Hands off Ibrahim Traoré," and "No silence, no surrender." The Burkinabe government, led by the 36-year-old Traoré, the world's youngest head of state, swiftly condemned Langley's remarks as regrettable and gravely inaccurate. In a fiery response, Traoré declared, "We must choose to fight or we will remain slaves forever," invoking Burkina Faso's painful colonial history under French rule and his government's unyielding commitment to sovereignty. The Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, in South Africa echoed this sentiment, denouncing Langley's claims as a blatant imperialist tactic aimed at destabilizing a sovereign African state. The Alliance of Sahel States, AES, comprising Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, issued a joint statement slamming the US for its neo-colonial rhetoric and reaffirming their resolve to protect their resources and independence. Africans were not just angry, they were wounded. Langley's accusation wasn't merely a critique of Traoré's leadership, it was an assault on the aspirations of a continent striving to break free from centuries of exploitation. For decades, Western powers have plundered Africa's gold, diamonds and oil, leaving its people in poverty while foreign corporations grew fat.